just one person. And climate change is such a huge, overwhelming problem. No matter how hard I try, and no matter how small I shrink my carbon footprint, it won't make a difference, right? The average American emits about 18 tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere each year, and the average Canadian about 16. That's 4 times the global average. To put it in perspective, it's the equivalent of each of us driving a mid-sized car around the entire circumference of the planet one time each year. There are so many climate-friendly steps we can take in our everyday life, and many of them will also save our pocketbooks. The very first step is the easiest and the most painless, I promise. What's your personal carbon footprint? Before you set about making it smaller, you first have to know how big it is and where is all this stuff coming from. Is it your house, your food, your travel? It's different for each of us because it depends on our lifestyle. There's a bunch of cool calculators available online that help you measure this. Just Google carbon calculator and you can find them. Once you know your carbon footprint and you know where it's coming from, then you can start making changes. These could be small things you do around the house, like recycling, washing your clothes in cold water instead of hot water, which uses 5 times the energy, or swapping out old incandescent light bulbs for more efficient LEDs. Making the light bulb switch could cut your emissions from lighting by up to 85%. That's half a ton of carbon emissions every year for your household. And if everyone in America changed just one old incandescent bulb into a new LED, that would be like taking almost 800,000 cars off the road. We can make larger changes, like when it's time, purchasing an Energy Star rated appliance the next time we have to replace our fridge or our washing machine. If every new appliance had that rating, it would be the equivalent of taking about 350,000 cars off the road. Or you could make heating and cooling your home more efficient by caulking your leaky windows and adding insulation to your attic. If your house isn't weatherized, you're likely losing as much energy through air leaks each year as you would if you just left a window open the whole time. Doing something as simple as installing a $50 programmable thermostat could lower your energy bill and your emissions by 15%. As you can see these days, there are a lot of good options. And they also include options for powering your home with renewable energy. You could see if your energy utility offers a green power plan, or you could even have your own solar panels or your own personal little windmill installed on your roof. I live in Texas, and for many parts of the state, buying wind power for your home is just about the same price as getting it from natural gas or coal. There's also a lot we can do in our own diets. That includes eating locally produced foods, not wasting food, opting for tap water over bottled water, and eating lower in the food chain. That means more veggies and less meat. 1 pound of red meat creates about 18 times the amount of emissions as a pound of pasta. We can also look at the way we commute to work. We could consider carpooling, even once a week would help, biking to the office, think of the fitness benefits, or telecommuting to the office 1 day a week. I enjoy working in my pajamas myself. My job involves a lot of business trips though, where I can't wear pajamas. So I try to video conference into meetings when I can. And when air travel is unavoidable, I buy carbon credits to offset my travel. There's a lot of good companies that do this. The organization that I use, for example, is called Climate Stewards. They measure how much carbon my plane trip produced, and then they do things that make up for that same amount, like planting trees and buying efficient cook stoves for families in Ghana and Mexico and Kenya, so they don't have to chop down trees to cook their food. A full quarter of the average American's emissions come from driving. So one major step we can take when the time is right is to buy a fuel-efficient vehicle, whether that means finding a car with the best fuel economy in its class or purchasing a hybrid or an electric vehicle. I drive a small hybrid SUV right now, and more than anything, I would love for my next car to be a Tesla. I hope Elon Musk is watching this. The reality is, we can make the biggest changes when we work together. So if you're serious at reducing the carbon footprint of your community, talk to the people who pay the bills at your work or your church or your school or even your gym or your yoga studio. Encourage them to make smart choices too that save money and improve our quality of life. This could be as simple as encouraging your office to install those sensors that turn out the lights when people aren't there, or encourage the gym to check out treadmills that could be plugged into the building's energy system. Why let all that running go to waste? You could install solar panels on the roof, or you could just paint it white if you live in a hot climate like I do, to save on the air conditioning bills. We can all help by taking personal and communal steps to reduce our carbon emissions, and that will do a lot. But realistically, it won't be enough all by itself. Our personal choices control only about 40% of national emissions. And even then, we can't always afford to make the choices that we'd like to. The reality is the government also must act. But in a democracy, that's what it's there for, right? To do what we want it to. So really, the most important thing each of us can do is to let our elected representatives at City Hall, in the state capitol, or in Washington or Ottawa know that we're concerned about global warming, and we want them to address it, from tightening fuel standards to building a clean energy economy. This is a leadership issue, and we don't yet have the ability to make some of the choices that each of us would like to. Now, if this sounds kind of scary, and it might, then I'd encourage you to check out a great organization called Citizens Climate Lobby. They have chapters all over the United States and Canada, and around the world, and they're all just regular people helping each other figure out how you write a letter or an email, or how you call or visit an elected official, to tell them one simple message, that we just need a price on carbon. I think they must be doing something right, because Citizens Climate Lobby's Climate Solutions Caucus in the United States is the only one I know of that has the same number of Republican congressmen and women as it does Democrats. So wherever you are, wherever you're from, we all need to stand up together and make our voices heard. We all live on this planet, we all want a better future, and we're not going to get there if we leave climate change out of the picture. Thank you for watching Global Weirding. Be sure to go to globalweirdingseries.com every other Wednesday so you don't miss the new episode. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter, and check out our Facebook Live discussion every other Thursday after each new episode at 7 p.m. Central. See you next time.